Now what's really going to kick you guys in the cooch is this, all right? What we're spraying it with. You guys have asked, and I have delivered.
Not really a $150 paint job because you didn't include this and you didn't include that. You didn't include the potato chips and the toilet paper it took you to get that job done.
The toilet paper I wipe my butt with in between when I take my breaks to work on this thing. Marco Colbert, Speed Recovery Finish Network. All right, guys, it is the day you have all been waiting for. I promised you guys a good bit of classics the last 4 weeks, which I've partially failed on. A couple jobs fell through that I was hoping were going to come through, and they didn't. However, I still got some classics of my own. We're going to get the F-150 painted. Gosh darn it. Bedsides welded in, subpar. Bodywork, subpar. Everything, the surface that we're painting over, subpar. This is one of those get it all one color type jobs. Clean it up, get it looking good so that when I'm riding down the road and picking up firewood or picking up, if I get a wild hair up my butt, pick up a dirt bike or four-wheeler or something, I don't look like an idiot. You know what I mean? I'm known as the body guy, the paint guy, or whatever. I don't look like an idiot having a truck that's 4 different colors, and you guys know what I'm saying. Now, I already know all the YouTube experts and, police are going to be,
well, it's not really a $150 paint job because you didn't include this and you didn't include that. You didn't include the potato chips and the toilet paper it took you to get that job done.
All right, I get it. I understand. I'm so sorry, guys, that I did not include the toilet paper I wipe my butt with in between when I take my breaks to work on this thing. I didn't include the grape sodas. I didn't include the meals. What else? Oh yeah. The tissues to dry my eyes after crying, after you guys proved me wrong so many times. A box of tissues is like, I don't know, $1. Yeah, so there's a lot of other expenses. I am one of the only YouTubers out here in the YouTube auto industry, whatever, that actually listens to my subscribers time and time again, and I provide. You guys asked me to do it, I'm doing it. I got a turbine sprayer. This was $45 on Amazon. However, it was sent to me for free from Vevor. Shout out to Vevor, guys. If this thing works out pretty nice, it was $45. I'd be pretty impressed if I could paint my whole car for $45 with this thing. But we're going to see how it does. If this thing works, I'm going to be blown away. I really am going to be. There's only one other YouTuber that's done this, and that's Brian from Paint Society. Brian did Plastidip, I believe, with one of these turbine-style house sprayers. Now, Plastidip is a lot thicker than automotive paint, so we're going to see how this does. So fingers crossed. Let's get some paint mixed up. Let's have at it. We're mixing a lot of paint, so we're going to need a nice big butt. Oh, this one's a little dirty. We're going to have to wash this one out. Looks like we missed a little spot right there. Wipe this out. Good as new. For those that attended my last video, we're using the 3-in-1 grease and wax remover, tack cloth, and adhesion promoter in one. The soda has like a sticky effect when it dries, so it'll help with adhesion because we're not going to use primer on that fender. Now we're mixing up the paint. We're mixing up the whole gallon because we're going to need it. These turbine sprayers, they use a lot of paint from what I found out. A whole thing of Activator, just dumping it in there, you know what I mean? And then a little trick, because we did get the wrong paint, I actually looked up on Google how to darken yellow. And they said just add a little orange to it. So that's what we did. And I didn't get it like perfect. I mean, it was definitely still a shade off. But as you guys can see, look at the lid and then look at the bucket. Wow. Definitely a lot closer to the color we need. And just eyeballing it, I mean, it was decently close. Like I said, it was still way too bright. But I was pretty happy with the result.
Scientific minds we have today.
All right, so we are finishing up the last of the first coat, kind of coming down the home run stretch. We got the hood, the fender, and the other fender to do. Now, I would say the hood was the most complicated part because you had to spray, you know, with the gun on an angle, and being these are, you know, siphon fed, excuse me. As soon as you kind of tilt them, they don't really like to spit that much material, so it was kind of complicated. I would say on your flat panels, go ahead and refill the spray gun all the way to the top before you attempt like your hoods, your roofs, and things like that. And this will help prevent that problem. As far as the paint, you know, like I say this all the time. This Summit stuff is, you know, it's decent. We're getting okay coverage on the first coat. It's not laying very flat. That's a combination of the paint quality itself, because even with a professional spray gun, you guys have seen me use this stuff before. Even with a professional spray gun, jack up the air pressure, it still does not lay 100% flat. But overall, the first coat was going down relatively smooth. Like I said, minus some texture and a little bit of orange peel, but overall, we're getting it down, and that's all that matters. The biggest thing to consider when using these turbine sprayers to paint your car or truck is be realistic. You're not going to get a show finish. This is a, hey, we're going to get it all one color. As you guys can see, it was pretty difficult to work with the really huge bungee cord looking thingy, which is like the air feed. But it was overall, it was a fun experience, and I will do it again. I did get decent results, and I am getting the paint to go down relatively okay for a $45 turbine sprayer. We're hitting on the second coat. Now the second coat, I reduced it down a little further to try and get that second coat to kind of lay down pretty flat. And as you guys can see, the second coat, this is where things are, kind of coming together. And this is any paint job. If your first coat's got a little dry spray, a little orange peel, don't worry about it. Come back and clean it up on the second coat. And as you guys can see, just looking at that bedside, even just looking at it a couple feet away, like it's starting to clean up really nice.
He's one of the best scientific minds we have today.
Party's over. So, end result. For subpar bodywork, subpar literally everything, I did pretty much everything wrong on this job. The bodywork was not 100%. The truck probably should have been stripped. I shouldn't have sprayed it with a $45 turbine sprayer. I shouldn't have sprayed it with, super cheap paint. This is a classic. However, the results are not bad. I mean, it's definitely got some peel in it. But guys, just walking past it to the average Joe, I mean, let me give Vevor credit. This is a $45 turbine. This is not one of the super expensive ones you see on Amazon for $500 that probably gets slightly better results than this. I'm still not a turbine guy. I'm not a believer in it. I'm old-fashioned. Get an air compressor, get a spray gun. It's actually cheaper with a Vevor compressor. You guys see what I do with their tiny compressors. I'm going to take some of the blame and say user error. The second coat that I over-reduced the paint, I mean, I mix it 4 to 1 to 2. I added a good bit of reducer because we were running out of paint. So I was like, I'm going to have to over-reduce it so I can at least get a second coat over everything. Man, that coat laid on nice for a $45 turbine sprayer. Dude, if you are just seriously running on hard times and you want to put a cheap paint job on your car, this is it. Right here, this is it. Vevor turbine sprayer. It's gonna have orange peel, guys. Understand, it's going to have orange peel. But once again, some of that is my fault. I should have played with the reducer a little bit more and got it to lay out a little flatter. But either way, no matter how you slice it, a $45 turbine is going to have orange peel. It does not matter. Got a couple small sags, couple small runs, you know, nothing super crazy. But I think this will definitely do just for like an around town truck, just for right now. It's all one color, it's shiny. It's not perfect, you know, it ain't perfect. My additional bodywork on the bed sides definitely paid off. There's not like a huge hump in that anymore. It's actually reasonably straight. You know, not bad. There's the tailgate. You know, this is not like extremely terrible. I'm not saying it's a good paint job. It's not good. This is definitely not a good job. This is like halfway decent. Like this is... It's all one color, it's somewhat shiny, somewhat smooth. You know, for a little beater around town truck, this will do. See, if I could have gotten the whole truck to look like that, I would have been more happy. Like up here, it's still got a little peel, but it's a lot smoother. There's certain spots where I think I put the paint on a little wetter. I was a little more brave with it. And, you know, I put it on a little wetter, and I got it, you know, a little bit flatter, but, you know, it's not bad, guys. Like, you know, I did this for you guys. Honestly, I did this for you guys. Like, I didn't want to do this. This is not my style. I don't like the turbines. You guys know I'm not a turbine guy. I'm kind of the turbine Nazi. But, you know, I'm not... Would I use this thing again? Probably. I probably would use it again. Like if I had another one of these little cheap bebop, you know, little bebop cars, you know, this is what I should have used on Wing Wang. All right, y'all remember that video. If you're new to the channel, scroll back, watch what I used to paint that thing. That was an epic fail. Like I'm not like this is not bad. All right, so conclusion. Vevor turbine, I'm gonna say for 45 bucks, I'm giving it a thumbs up. Hands down. You can't get better than that for 45 bucks. That is the spray gun and the air compressor in one. Okay? So if we were to go get a compressor, a spray gun, we're gonna spend at least 200 bucks. So right there, if you're on a budget, you're knocking off, you know, 80% of your bill just by getting a turbine. And then, you know, like this cheap Summit single stage, I mean, it gets the job done. You know, I was actually just on the phone with the rep today. She's actually sending me out a whole nother gallon because they tinted mine wrong or something. It was mislabeled. Way too bright. So she's sending me a whole nother kit. I was on the phone, I was like, yeah, I'm sponsored by Speedoco, blah, blah. I said, you know, they got the best stuff. But I said, you know, your single stage for just a cheap little $100, $150 paint job, it gets the job done. It's not good. It's not good by any means. Never would I ever say this is good paint. It's decent. It's decent. It will get your car all one color and good looking from 5 to 10 feet away. That's all you can expect. Let me go back about 14 years of my life, okay? This is not a fail at all, because either way, we made progress with this truck. This amount of material I have on this truck, my auto body teacher, back when I was 17, he used to tell us stories about how when he was a shop back in the old days, you know, 70s, 80s, 90s, they used to get a car in, like an old rusty truck like this, and they would hose it down with like 4 coats of single stage. Put that thing in the booth, hose that thing down. Put like 3 or 4 coats of enamel on it. That stuff, single stage back in the day was so thick, they used it to fill in imperfections. So with all the material we put on this truck today, even if I decide in a year or two from now, we'll buzz it down again and repaint it, you know? I'm gonna have so much more material now to work with. Basically, that paint has now filled in so many of the imperfections in this truck that, dude, we sand this thing down and paint it again, it's gonna look even better. So, you know, either way, this is a win-win. I did not lose, I never lose. Like, this is not a loss. It's good enough for now. Okay, good enough for now. So, all right, so that is going to wrap up the video for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed this project. Like, subscribe, new videos every week.